everybody. Welcome back to the Legends and Dragons podcast, episode 30 here from the Legends Lair here in Hurst, Texas. Chance Wilson. Jim, we have Jesse Leyva, right? Leyva.
It's all
I
good.
always call you Jesse James. I know, that's the thing. It's Jesse James. Hey, but before we get started, I have to ask you this because I just shared it to our Facebook group yesterday. 5% of Texans that were polled here think that they can beat up a bear.
It's like,
5%.
are they dry?
I don't know if they would. The question is,
Baby bear, big bear.
that's a good question. Look out, Care Bear.
Yeah, it's a big bear. I'm running.
You think you beat up a bear?
Young one.
A young bear? A young
Baby.
A baby bear?
Have you heard of Goldilocks?
Yeah, I heard them Goldilocks.
I could, the little one?
You think so?
Yeah, baby bear's porridge. I get bear soup. I'll make some bear soup.
Yeah, you think so? Man. Listen, I've been excited, Jesse, for this story because I love your stories. I love, where you came from to where you are today. And so, I just want to get right into it. You are the owner and creator of Outlaw FitCamp. So Outlaw FitCamp. Yep. So let's start from the beginning. Where did you grow up? Where were you born?
Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
Spent my life out there until I was, I think, 19. Then I moved to Texas.
Okay. So you, of course, guys go follow Jesse on Facebook because I've seen some pictures of you bodybuilding.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course,
Might be 45 pounds heavier, but yeah.
but we'll get into that because I think it's phenomenal. So you grew up in LA. When did you get out here to Texas?
Man, I think it was early 90s, probably like around 92, 91, around that range.
Okay. So were you always into fitness?
No, I was into BMX riding, boxing, individual sports in California, nothing, a little bit of downhill mountain biking. And then I moved up here. It wasn't for, I think maybe about 2-3 years. I got into bodybuilding and lifting, but I got a gym. It really helped me out, figure out how to build my physique and how to eat right, and fell in love with the aspect that, man, I eat, I train, I repeat, I get better. Do it again. And month after month, being about 135 pounds, I put on 6 pounds, 8 pounds. And I think the addiction and I guess everything came to full spin when a girl came up and go, oh my God, your arms. And a girl noticed me for my muscle. I was probably 145 by then, 150.
Yeah.
And I was sold just because somebody paid attention to the hard work and the effort and the discipline and way. So that's when it all kind of started making sense, It's eating, it's training, and the repetitiveness. So.
Okay. Your parents live out in California still?
No, my father, they went through a divorce and left when I was about 9-10 years old. He lives in Australia now. We had a separated life for a long time. Lives with my mom and my sister, back and forth for a while they were divorced. But lived in California, San Fernando Valley, Silmar, Pacoima area, kind of a rough area.
Yeah.
I had a tough single mom income in LA. She worked in LA, Watts area.
Yeah.
And then drove an hour to work.
Watts?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy, especially when they have the riots out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she's a little short. I think she's about 4'11", white German woman. Wow. German and I think French Canadian, and my dad's Native American, Hispanic. So, yeah, so it was a tough time there. And then, just picked it, I messed up the school a bunch and eventually dropped out of high school. I just had a hard time. I was behind on my grades. My friends graduated. I didn't. And I decided it just would be better that I don't go back. So
yeah.
I did. And eventually my dad moved from there to Texas, and I had some family here. And he invited me up here, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I get to hang out with my dad now. My dad again, finally, congrats.
Yeah.
I moved up here, and he got me up here and stayed for about 2-3 years. That he moved to Australia. So that's where he's at now, and he's doing great. But I've always thanked him for moving me here because when I moved here to the Louisville area, I went back, got my GED. Started getting my life back together.
Right.
And that's kind of how I became a Texan and fell in love with the Dallas Cowboys. And
sure. So the addiction. So Chance and I have spoken on some previous podcasts about addiction. We've had friends on the podcast that have fought their addictions. Were you addicted to drugs, alcohol?
Drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, cocaine, GHB. I was doing a lot of stupid stuff in my 20s, probably through my 20s, on up to maybe 30, 31, dealing, doing, and just trying to find myself as a bodybuilder, especially you can see them nowadays, even especially at that time, you're doing, but we're also selling, And it was a cool thing to do, working at clubs and trying to make my life and figure myself out and in and out of trouble and get arrested and just doing dumb stuff. And,
So what pulled you out of that?
personal training. I was in, I forget what year it was. Me and a buddy of mine bought my first gym. It was about 28 years ago in Louisville, Texas, and called Me a Body. We bought a gym, and I was training. And I was still, because every bodybuilder at that time was still dealing and doing their stuff. But I started training people, and it was bodybuilders, athletes, but I had a lot of women, and I was training 45, 50-year-old women. And being a hardcore bodybuilder, you don't think too deep into stuff. But when I had this one lady lose about 40 pounds and tear up and tell me how much it meant to her that she felt good, her husband said she was beautiful, I was like, oh my God, something hit me. I don't know if it was the day or if I was emotional, maybe I'd do a shot. I don't know what it was, but I almost teared up and I got a little nauseous. I was just like, oh my God, this is bigger than just training people to be hardcore athletes. So I started fostering towards that relationship with more of my women. And within about 2 years, I think my ratio is probably 60 to 70% women I was training. More, 45, 50 years old. They drive in 30 minutes to come train at our place at this bodybuilder gym. I fell in love with that. So little by little, I think over a period of probably 8 to 10 years, I just started finding myself and knew that I was not doing the right things. And, the expense of going to jail and court and getting in trouble. And I lost at home. I went through a lot of stuff. It was just, I needed to find some direction. And direction was cleaning my life up and having purpose.
So it was more of a gradual process.
I would say so, but was
there a defining moment where you're like, this is it?
A friend of mine on the side of my apartment of an overdose, and he crapped his pants. He didn't much. I don't know what he was taking that night, but we were all a little too far out, and Chris almost passed away in my parts. I lived here in Bedford at the time, and North Richmond Hills area. So that was a real defining time in my life where I needed to get my life together, and that happened in my place. We called paramedics, and it was just a nightmare. And knowing that I could have lost him, and that was crazy. That was probably 20 years ago.
So it's really ironic because this is the first time that you and I have ever met. Right? And we have the same story. You could just change the names and the places, except for I wasn't in California. That was it. And it was the last time for me was a little over 20 years ago.
Really?
And the thing is that it's very much like you, where I was still trying to be an influence and a trainer of other people with the knowledge that I wasn't who they thought I was. And there was a time where that didn't change my pulse. It's fine. I'm still doing my job. I'm still helping them.
Still rocking.
But that cognitive dissonance that I'm not who they think I am. And that didn't bother me until it did. And once it did, it's like getting unplugged from the Matrix. You can't get it back. You like that. But denial is such a wonderful, wonderful thing while you have it. But once it's gone, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a monster. They are looking to me for this. And it's in guidance and leadership. Well, and they're looking to you for, yes, is it the physical? But the thing is, Jesse, I'm learning that you cannot separate the spiritual from the physical. It can't be done. No more can we be a spiritual guru who cares nothing about our body, this gift that we've been given, everyone, then we can be a vacuous, empty, shallow bodybuilder with no purpose in our mind and in our heart. They're woven together.
Absolutely.
And so I'm helping these people learn how to kick and punch and be honorable and ethical and all this stuff, knowing that when I get off work, I'm going to be the opposite of that. And I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't. And it was the near-death experiences and stuff like that. And it's just ironic that we're together for the first time ever in my school today. And we both did a shift 2 decades ago in the mid-cities
in the mid-cities.
You have definitely mid-cities. Yeah.
I had a house in Hearst.
I worked at that gym across the street.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, this is why I was excited about Jesse coming on the show, because you guys are had your passes. You guys are almost cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Like where you are today, the success that you have, and we'll talk about Outlaw in just a few minutes, because the success that both you have, for you guys, if you guys are dealing with addiction or anything, look, these guys right here. But let me ask this though, because obviously you couldn't get out of it by yourself, right? Did you have friends? Did you have a mentor? Did you have people dragging you to church? What? So how?
I had none of that. That's fine. I had all my friends were in the same group as I was, so we're all stupid.
Try to have good friends.
Yeah, so a lot of that is the circle of we've all heard about, talked about. There was a defining moment. And again, a lot of this happened within years of themselves. So different things punched me in the face, but then I was still too stupid. Back to my same ways. So every instance made me grow and awaken a little more. There was a time where I was married previously, and I blamed my ex-wife because, of course, I was mad because I got arrested. I had a ticket out, did take care of it, didn't go to court. I got arrested, and it was her fault because she didn't remind me. Of course. And I was telling my client this, and this client was a very successful man that I looked up to, very powerful, guy in the fitness world. And he grabbed my shoulders, and I was, he was taller than me, but I was about 40 pounds bigger than me. He goes, turned me to the mirror, and he goes, dude, don't blame your wife. Blame that stupid mother. And staring back at you right there. Don't blame your wife, bro. Yeah. Don't blame your wife. Blame that dumbass. That guy did that to you. You are the dumbass. You're the one that did that. Yeah. And I got so pissed. My temper went from here to here. And within a second, I caught it. And I was like, again, had that emotion. I'm like, I'm a piece of crap. I'm blaming my ex-wife for not reminding me. But I'm the guy that got the ticket. I'm the guy that didn't take care of it. I'm the guy that got pulled and arrested in our neighborhood. So, but it was little moments like that that made me start really growing up into a man and stop blaming people, stop being angry at my dad, all the daddy issues.
Oh, yeah.
I had to realize that, dude, I got to get out of my own way because I am my biggest horse. I'm my biggest idiot. So that was probably one of the defining times that I started changing every aspect of my life. I cut back on people I was hanging out with, and I just got tunnel vision. And it was when I retired from bodybuilding in 2010, maybe my last show, that I focused on business. And the addictive patterns that I had, in a good way, with bodybuilding training, I put into business. Sure, watching my numbers, sales, KPIs, all that stuff. And then every year we just jump. But it was that one person. Yeah, it was that. I was fortunate enough, and you probably are as well. The people you get to work with and train and coach sometimes indirectly coach you. Of course. So I have all these successful men and women too, but mainly men that I wanted to be like. And I'm like, and their impression, giving me impressions that I'm just sucking it like a sponge.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My first sponsor said that until I become the problem, there is no solution.
Yeah.
And that's right. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
If my problem is you, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Because you're going to keep doing whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
But if I'm the problem, well, then I can change.
It's easier to fix it.
Yeah.
So you got here in Texas, and then you started bodybuilding when you were in Texas, right?
Yep.
So walk me through that. What kind of, other than the females looking at your arms after you're working, what got you into competing?
That was just the short thing that made me go, okay, wow, it worked, and I got attention. So that was really cool. Competing, I just met people from Stroud's and my buddy that got me into bodybuilding. He still lives out in this area.
Lee?
Yeah, Lee Seal.
Yeah.
Lee?
What isn't he running the gym now?
I don't
know. That's a different Lee.
Yeah, he was at Stroud's for a number of years though, for 15 years. But him, Johnny Jackson, a lot of different people that I met in the industry, and I love the look. I love, I love that powerful look. So, and then the fact that I didn't have to buy anything in the sense that it was just like hard work. It's months of cultivating time and eating and diet, nutrition. But I fell in love with it, and I put on 10 pounds, 20 pounds, went from 140 to 200, 220, 230, and just getting bigger and bigger. And it was addictive.
Yeah.
But, it's a very selfish sport.
There are worse things to be addicted to.
Yeah, far, far greater. So, but, I love the stuff I learned from it. And I think, like with anything, whether you move up to a different belt or different rankings, it's nice when you see that. You get a trophy. You get first place, second place. Third was just me not doing enough cardio and not sticking to my diet. It was my fault. So I really loved individual sports because I won because of my hard work, or I lost because of my short.
Exactly.
So how many years did you compete?
I want to say maybe 18, 15 or 20 things.
How many first places did you, out of that, you probably got 17 on this.
So I don't know how many, I got a lot of first places.
Yeah.
I got a couple thirds, but mainly I think my last show, I think I was 9th or 10th at the Nationals. And I was going through a divorce at that time. It was a rough weekend. That's when, my ex-wife didn't make it there. My coach didn't make it there. And it was just a nightmare of a contest in Atlanta, Georgia. So so that's when I was like, you know what, this is too much for me.
Okay. So that was the point that you said, you know what, we'll go into business. Or was that the point? Or
Yeah, it was. I spent all that money, all that time to do a show, and just the people that I was relying. Yes, it's a youth sport, but still you rely on other people that are part of your group, the family, and just things weren't going right. And I realized that I wasn't putting the right effort into my life. And after everything I spent on this show, and then looking at what bodybuilders made back then, I'm like, this is not what I want for my life.
The ROI is it's not here.
Yeah, and I just, at that show, I was like, I'm done. I was done that morning, but I went and competed, got on stage, and looked good, but not good enough to make top 5, top 3, which I should have been there. But I just went back home, and I felt really good about that decision.
good. Yeah.
I felt really good about it. And, man upstairs, I had a really incredible client at that time that wasn't a client of mine that reached out to me through referral and was messaging me while I was there. And I started her back up right when I got back. And I also met my new wife now soon after that, and purpose in life and everything just started to change. And I know it's somebody else is watching over me. I think for a long time he kept shocking me back in gears, but I was too stupid at that time.
Sure.
See how he does that thing. Let's talk about your beautiful bride here for just a second. Tiffany, did she competed as well?
Yeah.
So did you meet her at a competition, or how did my studio? You met her?
Yeah, she met my studio. She came in looking for a coach to get her there, to look like a certain athlete, Monica Cowan. I think it was Monica Brandt or Ava Cowan, I think it is. So she wanted to look like somebody. That's what I was doing. I was coaching athletes, bikini girls, figure, women's physique, and bodybuilders. So I was coaching after I got stepping away from it.
Yeah.
And she came in, and we lost. I think she lost 50 pounds. We lost another 20 pounds. She did a bikini show, did really good. I had top 3, top second. Then she went to women's figure, put a little more muscle on. So about a year, we just trained and coached, and we were not knowing it, both in bad marriages. She was married, I was married. She trained in a group, some other girls there.
Yeah.
So there was no association, no writing or anything like that.
Right.
And then I was expanding my studio, just grabbed another 4,000 square feet, and it had an old hair salon in it. She does hair, and she owns a salon.
Okay.
So she was looking to open up a place, and I said, why don't you just lease the space here I got here? And I'm doing massage therapy, personal training, and have a hair salon in there.
Right.
So she did. And that process, I didn't realize she was going through divorce. I already had a rough 5 years. Our marriage was kind of on the outs, and we were just working on trying to figure out what we're going to do.
Right.
So it kind of cultivated from there. She went through her divorce. So did I. And then we went and did a show together with some friends, and went our first, I wouldn't even say it was a date. We went out to get some food, drinks, and lay out and just like each other. But it took about 5 to 6 months, I think it was.
Okay.
To kind of
To finally say, hey.
Yeah. Because I just want to be respectful of, not my ex. Yeah, I've always been very respectful of women. Even when I was an idiot, I care about what people think and how I feel. Yeah, and it turned into something incredible. And I always tell people, sometimes you just never know who you are until you meet the right person.
Yeah.
And they bring something out of you. She did that for me, and same with her. And we started Outlaw together with my business partners. You look in a nice role, having a best friend and a partner.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. And how long have you and Tiffany been married?
9 years. We're on our 10th. We've been together 13.
Okay. See, Tiffany, I know you're watching. I'm a big fan of Tiffany's thing, right?
So it's interesting what you just said, and it's something that I really hope that people that listen to this podcast will pay attention to. And it's funny, Jesse, because it's not like we were told as children to get to know someone over a long period of time before you get romantic. I was told this. I didn't listen to it at all.
We don't.
But one of the problems with not getting to know someone is, one, you don't know if you're going to like them.
Sorry, I hope it.
And once you make that physical connection, you're kind of connected. And that is a really bad idea if y'all don't like each other. And one of my mentors in life told me, he said, my
Stick off the bigger fight. So
philosophy was I would see someone and I would make the decision that I was going to sleep with them. And then I would make that happen.
Yeah.
And then after that happened, I would begin the process of finding out whether I liked them. Although, okay, and the thing is, as funny as that is, how common is that, you know? And so I was listening. It's funny. I was listening to a pastor on the way here, this audiobook, and I've already done it, but I'm going back through it.
yeah.
And he talked about the girl walks by in a high school or a college or a junior high or whatever, or adult men, which is shameful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rating 5.
Oh, you know, yeah.
10.
Yeah.
He's like, here's the thing. That seems harmless at first,
Right.
but that's a person, man. That is a sheen. That is a daughter.
That's your daughter.
That is
mother, that's your wife.
that is a human being, and it might seem harmless to y'all, but it isn't harmless to her.
Right.
And if you don't take the time to get to know someone, which anybody that knows me knows how hypocritical it is for somebody like me to say this, but this is who I am now. It isn't who I was back then, but it is who I am now.
Right.
And if I could take it back, I would. If I could take back the not seeing yet people as people, right? Like, I don't look at Jimmy as a commodity that I can gain something from.
Yeah.
And I also need to extend that same thing to every female on the planet. This is a human being. It's not a resource to be utilized.
Right.
And I'm so happy to hear that you took the time, you know, to be respectful to both of your, you know, marriages that were ending.
Yeah.
But also to make sure that this is something, because once a romantic physical thing begins, it's too late to decide whether you'll like each other.
I'll mention something because you're 100% right. Most men, and I would say 90% of us,
Of course.
are hard-headed, ego, hard-headed, many certain things. The best thing I did is I extended and kept going to marriage counseling after my divorce
Good.
because I needed to work on my BS and my dad issues I had at the time. And that was the best thing I could have done because I didn't bring that baggage to my next relationship. And, you know, that was so important because my mom and my sister helped them move here about 13, 14 years ago. And they're right down the street from me. And they, you know, the most important things in my world. So I was raised by my mom. I love my sister. And she, same thing, had an addictive pattern. She's been clean and sober for, I think, 13 years.
Good to her.
So we, you know, had a rough life. And she also was homeless. And when I picked up my mom in California and came back, my sister stayed. And she had a few months of living in the desert, Lancaster, Palmdale area. So and then she finally moved up here. And she's turned her life around. So I'm just so passionate about helping people because I've seen what it said to my mom, my sister, myself.
Therapy is the best gift I ever gave myself. I mean, I was made to go when I was a kid. I was kind of, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But now
You willfully want to go or go to church or get baptized. It's different.
you know, and the stigma. And this is the other thing, that if you're listening to this, get over the stigma of sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, I'm sick and broken," and that's what. Listen,
Makes you
change
stronger.
the way you look at it. Who doesn't want a Yoda?
Who doesn't want to be empowered?
Right.
I mean,
But I mean, it would be super cool to have a Jedi Master helping you sort out the inside of your brain. That's what a therapist is.
exactly.
It you know what I mean? It's not a shameful thing.
No.
That makes me so happy to hear.
Yeah, especially it's funny you talk about the rating of female.
Yeah.
Because last week I received an email from talent school saying, "Hey, did parents talk to your kids? See what's going on in the hallway? You know, like some of the boys are rating." And so I pulled talent aside. He said, "Hey, man," so I want to talk about this email. He goes, "Dad, it wasn't me. I knew who it was, and I'm trying to lead them into talking."
Yeah, dude.
And I told Talon, like, absolutely. I'm like, you have to be the change. I'm like, because your boys, they're going to do stuff like that.
Influence.
Yep, I'll see what we're talking about. So, I mean, I was proud of Talon's like, "Dad, I've been trying and been working, I've been, you know, trying to say, hey, we don't talk like that about him because it is extremely important. Of course, having a son and daughter.
Yeah.
You know, I see the effects having on the daughter. I see the son Plus, I threatened him.
Yeah. If you dare to tell him.
Anyway,
And so we look at this. Okay, this is a good one, right? And you, because you were in the fitness industry, you can understand what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
We assume that it's only harmful to the girl if it's a low number. No. It's harmful to the girl when it's a 10, because then that's her value.
Yeah.
Her only value is in her appetizing physical nature.
Yeah.
And that, this
Not substance.
yeah. So this pastor that I was listening to, he's like, we're all addicted, aren't we? Like some of us to cocaine,
yeah.
but some of us to the approval of others. Some of us,
Social media nowadays. Who like my picture? Who like,
right? We all have an issue with something. So if you're the girl that shows up as a 10, then guess what? You're going to think that's your only value.
Yeah.
And that is, yes, stay in shape. Yes, take care of yourself. But that's not the only thing you're bringing to the table, man.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So you get here, Atlanta, decide to go into business yourself. Tell me about your first gym.
First year was tough. I used to sell cars. 30 years ago.
That's super fun.
I grew up right down the street. Years ago, and then I went into a grandfather clock business with some friends. We did very well, brought up to about 1.5 million in a year and a half selling grandfather clocks.
Grandfather clock.
Yeah, nationwide through EFAX.
Talk about a niche market.
So we did that, and I still was bodybuilding and lifting and doing that. And I had the opportunity at a gym that I worked at to buy that gym off the owners there, and a buddy of mine bought it. So we did that. I had no clue about owning a gym, just that love.
New body?
New body, yes. Had that, did well, added a tanning salon to that. That did well. About a year after I opened the tanning salon, the whole area on Portwood Drive in Louisville there kind of turned to Section 8, and a lot of my tanning salons didn't tan anymore. And it was Mexican black and tan, so.
Right.
So I had to make the decision to, shutting that one down. And we actually just merged it with another buddy's gym at Flower Mound. And that's where I went, took my memberships there, shut that down, had that gym. And that was the big one that really broke me. It was 45,000 square feet. We were underfunded, and it was just a beating and poor partners. And I have a killer work ethic, but I'm very clean and detailed. Dumbbells back up, numbers facing up. I'm very particular about things. Partners aren't always that way. So I think we lasted about 2.5, 3 years. And in that process, I had my truck repoed. I was losing my house that I bought, from the clock company to ULI. Lost my house and shut down that gym. On and off separation of my ex, put her through hell and back.
Yeah.
It wasn't her. It was a lot. Sure, I was not a good husband.
Right.
And I broke us. And I lived in a Volkswagen Jetta for about 6 to 8 weeks. I at my grandma's apartment, my friend's, Chris's house, and showered at 24-Hour Fitness. And borrowed $6,000 from my aunt, uncle, and friends, and started over with Jesse James Fit.
Okay.
And one girl that I hired, Kay, just hired her out of Baylor on a degree, and she, I think 6 or 8 months later, shut the gym down. She was the only employee that stayed with me, and her and her husband, Drew, are still my business partners 18 years later. 19 years later, we've been together with everything I do. But she was the only employee that stayed with me, and I said, I'm going to open up a little place to just do personal training, because we had indoor running track, we had daycare at this gym. It was a big 45,000 square foot gym, and we just couldn't fund it.
Sure.
So we started over again, and we blew it up. That went from 1,000 square feet to 7,700 in about 5 years.
Okay.
So just grew it. But that's what it was. It was a crazy time in my life of just being lost. And it feels like it was this short amount of time, but I think it was within a year to a year and a half, all of this stuff was happening. And you're just trying to cut with those. This is probably around 6, 7, 8 in that range there. Because I started Jesse James Fitness, I think, in the beginning of 8. I did my LLC in 9.
Yeah.
As 2007, 6 area was a tough time.
So the funny thing is that I make this joke, and I was telling you about it.
Yeah.
Dad and I opened this place in December of 2007.
Yeah.
And we didn't know we weren't real estate guys. We didn't know that the housing market was going to crash.
Yes. Oh, man, yeah.
And so we were underfunded.
Yep.
So we, I think the prospectus, which I didn't know what that word meant before we opened this place.
Yeah.
We had investors, and it was $250,000 to build this place out and pay us for the first year.
Yeah.
We got half of that. We built this place out, and then OT hit. and we had no students and no pays. My father had to go get a job teaching for one of his students, which is very much a tuck your tail between your legs type of thing. Just put food on the table.
Right.
And then I slept here.
I consult.
And I joke, you've seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
Clearly. Ben Kenobi turns the tractor beam off. That's the same sound your electricity makes when they shut it off every month. And I heard it every single month, and I would scrape change, and dude, the number of times,
Horrible feeling.
dude. Well, and I would have
You don't realize it.
I would have students here show up for class, and our electricity had gotten shut off, and I would lie and say, "Oh yeah, the power lines
Power's
are down."
down. Get the neighbors in their lights on. I've been there, and I'm like, I seen it pull up and shut it off, and I'm like, I had my truck, I had a GMC truck, get repoed in front of day before my birthday, August 5th, the 4th. I was training to climb to my Michael, and I'm at the Smith machine looking at the mirrors. I see this truck come up, back in, drive off. He's like, "Is that your truck?" I wanted to cry at the same time. I'm like, yeah, that's like somebody playing a joke on me. It's my birthday. Yeah. And I watched my truck get hauled off. Yeah. And I was just, I finished I'm very clear on nothing gets past me. Don't train clients. I can have the world ending and I'm giving you 100%. I kept it cool and as soon as I could, I went to, I think it was Wallace Honda and got a little tote the note car before I hit my credit. Yeah. Got back on my feet pretty quickly, but that's the car I ended up sleeping in for a while.
That's that whole like our arrows will blot out the sun. Well, then we'll fight in the dark.
Wow. That was a hard time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, for anyone who is thinking about owning a business, all of this stuff. So what would you say? I don't want to leave this because you can say anything. What would you give it? What advice would you give to somebody that wants to open up?
Oh, this is easy, because you've done this for so long now, and I've opened multiple locations on our own. One, just know your numbers, have a plan in place, understand your brand, what you're going to do, who your avatar is, who your client, who are you selling to? Like we talked, who pays the bills here? Is it kids or is it the moms? Do they want to see a nice place? So know who your customer is, have a pro forma, have a business plan, how you're going to make your money, who you're going to advertise to. What area do you want to be at? Where do you want to put? Is it brick and mortar? Is it a service? Just know your stuff before you even borrow, ask, put anything on a credit card. So I'm so numbers driven. And from 2006, when I started really logging my revenue on a spreadsheet, I still have on my spreadsheets until I went to hard software now that we use for the last 10 years, 15 years. But I went from 2006, we're pulling maybe 6,000 a month to 100,000 a month in revenue just on spreadsheets till we went to software, because I would every month copy and paste who's canceling. All right, we're $3,000 upside down. I got to sell 6,000 new memberships this month. But I became so systematic. Then 2006, I started that. 2010s when I really got it. When I stopped bodybuilding, I started really focusing on those numbers. Yeah. And every month I would copy and paste because I knew it'd have to be dangerous with a spreadsheet, but I knew how to copy and paste. And then deduct my cancellations. Go, oh man, we're 3,000 negative going into the 1st of November. So we got to hustle this month. Yep. That's all I did. And I learned business, and it was all my fault. You have to take, aggressive decisions and take action.
Yeah.
So the concept of net new.
Yeah. Net new. Exactly. Yes. That's exactly it. So, but I would say just know your clientele, what you're coming for, what their needs are, and then have a solution to that problem. Like you said, what's a problem? Do you have the solution? Do they want to pay for it?
So, Chance, I know we've talked about this on the podcast. In case someone doesn't go back, which you should go back and listen to our podcast, what advice would you give if somebody, because you're in the martial arts?
Yeah, so I know nothing about this.
Because you're not a business. You didn't start off as a...
So the thing that Jesse is talking about is still the last area that I have to really, really grow in, okay? I came to the game with people skills.
Yeah.
I love people. I don't love numbers. The problem is that if you don't learn to at least appreciate numbers, you're going to have to work for someone else.
That's exactly it.
And I'm not going to work for someone else. So I have to get really good at the KPIs and ROIs and all that stuff, which I'm slowly learning an appreciation for. But I don't know anything about the fitness model, but I know a whole lot about the martial arts business model. And I will tell you this, if you love the idea of owning your own school, do the borrowed space concept and see if you can figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
Because the borrowed space concept, which if you don't know what that is not the brick and mortar. The brick and mortar is you have overhead that doesn't care how many clients you have.
Yep.
Borrowed space is generally a percentage of your income. So if you can do a church or a rec center or whatever, that way you can see if you actually have the business model without going into debt.
Yep.
Because if you can't retain and grow a student base, you'll find that out without losing your butt.
Exactly. Leasing something.
But you go in and lease a space and get an overhead. Your landlord in TXU does not care how many students you have.
No feelings and no emotion in business.
At all.
There's
At all.
Nobody cares.
You know? And so it's what we call, it's what I like to call a soft opening. If you want to find out if you have what it takes to have a brick and mortar school, do the borrowing space concept.
Yeah.
And if you can outgrow that and you can learn to appreciate the numbers like Jesse is talking about, you don't have to love it.
Yeah.
But you gotta learn it.
and
You
respect
gotta
it.
learn it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you guys go to school for this? You go to school?
No, I'm an audiobook jockey, so 1 or 2 books a month. I do audible all the time. So I read and watch as much YouTube, and I don't do any BS. I don't play video games. I don't gamble. I don't even really watch a lot of sports. I watch a little bit of football, but I'm such a nerd on just self-betterment stuff. The first book, because I have Tourette's, so I may have a nervous click where I clear my throat all the time and clear my nose. And so I dealt with that since high school and middle school. And then I had a reading issue, so I never really read a lot. The first book I finished on my own was Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. That was probably 25 years ago. And that was a book that kind of made me want to start shifting and figuring things out. And then I kind of fell in love with anybody on YouTube or anything I could follow that's positive. And it's just so much craziness to make you angry, to make you hate people, to make you. So I just needed much positive in my life. So every morning I start off with something, whether it's an audiobook or a podcast. My wife knows 3:45 in the morning, I'm up in the bathroom listening to my YouTube, and I start my day primed, ready to go. And it's just habits I've been doing for years. I make my bed. My side's always, she gives me crap. My side, it's always made.
Yeah.
I just have my habits that I do.
Yeah.
It's like that general said, get up and make.
Yeah, it was nice to come home to a made bed. We had towels rolled at the studio, certain way you roll the towels, dumbbells, number facing. There's things that I like done. And I think if you half-ass the little things, you half-ass the big things. So I'm very particular on doing things right the first time. So I have to have a headache later on.
Take care of the days, and the years take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So now, truck repo, get a car, sleeping in your car 6 to 8 weeks, and couch surfing, if you will. So what happened after that?
The gym started taking off. We had at least 1,000 square feet with a buddy of mine there that had a place there. I grabbed another additional 2,200 square feet. We took about 2 months to.
And is this in Louisville still?
Yeah, this is in Flower Mound, right where Louisville budges up to Flower Mound. So good right at the beginning of Flower Mound there. That's the studio I had for 17 years and then moved, or 16 years, and I moved to my new place. So when I shut down that gym, it was literally like I knew I was losing my butt. We wrote a letter, me, Kay, and I think my sister was there. She worked for me at that time in Midland, California. We stayed there and we moved equipment out, everything for over a day and a half, and then said hi and goodbye to everybody. And I took care of it, prepaid for memberships at a Stand Fitness. I got them taken care of, so the membership's still good.
Yeah.
And then I offered them, if they're training, to come to our new place. It was literally an eighth of a mile down the street,
Right.
but 1,000 square feet. And with an additional 2,000, we had to knock holes in the road to go into. So it was like that. I had no money. We had carpet, ripped up carpet. It was just a crap hole gym. And I had equipment on carpet. You have to go to one row for the leg press, go to the other row for the dumbbell. It was a nightmare. Yeah. But my clients, we rocked. And I traded out for electrical work, knocking walls down. I did it myself.
I know that.
Yeah. I mean, you're just doing everything. Then we ripped carpet up, scraping. It was the hardest, probably I would say, 8 years of my life of rebuilding the brands and everything.
But you don't look at it like that now, do you?
Well, then my first one that I did, my first Outlaw location, we did the demo and was to build out on our own. And now that I knew how to do that, I think we had about 4 brick and mortars that we did, and until I went to franchising. But you learn that I can open this, I can build this out, I can negotiate.
Yeah. But Chance, I remember walking right to figure that here, right?
You've known me long enough that this has not looked anything like this.
This right here is phenomenal. I remember when there was like a glass here. That way, and stadium seating sort of here. There may be a few rows where the parents sat right here and then looked inside and watched the kids.
Yeah. So one of the things that you probably learned to do that took me a long time is to learn to develop relationships with people who are more successful at doing what you're doing than you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so the co-bars out of Sacramento are my guiding lights, my mentors. And they have, they helped me survive COVID. They helped me grow the school. They helped me be financially stable while keeping my soul.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that you can make a lot of money teaching martial arts. And it's super easy if you don't care about teaching martial arts. Like if you can just give out belts and you don't really care about helping anybody, all you care about is the tuition, that's easy. Yeah. But to put out solid quality black belts and not be broke.
Yeah.
Okay, because we have this concept of, to be legitimate, I have to be a martyr. I have to be broke if I'm going to be real. And that is not true.
Not true.
And so what I should have asked the co-bars is, because I have these great ideas, Jesse.
We all got them.
Here's the
will shut me down sometimes.
Only a few of them are actually great ideas. I think they're all great ideas. So my idea is, I hate as the toddlers running around and kind of interfere. So I took this area and I made it a stadium seating with this padded little play area for toddlers. Brilliant, right? It's brilliant. The parents can see. I even had a mic where they could steer the mat, and then their little 3-year-olds could just kind of run around on the padded thing and not get hurt. It'd be great, right? Doesn't that seem like a great idea?
Great idea.
Yes. Fast forward to somebody coming in to see our school, and I've got 2 11-year-olds playing WWE, slamming each other in this toddler play area while I'm trying to teach class.
Oh, yeah.
And the dad goes, "This ain't school for me. I'm looking for something with a little more respect and discipline." And I'm like, I ripped that out the next day. I should have asked the co-bars, "Hey, have you ever done this?" They would have said, "Yeah, we tried that. It doesn't work."
That's franchising. That's what I tell everybody. When you buy a franchise, you're buying my wins, but you're buying the book of mistakes.
Which is what you will not do.
Which is
Here's insanely more valuable than the win.
Here's what I'll save you $1 million over 8 years.
Right.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't hire this person. Don't hire that person. Nice.
Right.
Yeah. How many outlaws do you have to that?
We got 4. We had 7 before COVID. We have 4 right now. We're in 2 territories, and we're working a nice, a cool dude in Dallas right now for a multi-pack right now. So
Okay. So if I came to you and said, "Jesse, I really want to, I wish you want to be a franchise owner in Bravo," what does that look like? Like, what would you do?
we go through, well, there's a whole worst thing we go through. We go through a whole process of, one, make sure everybody's financially sound to buy a franchise, to make sure you tour the studio, make sure you like what we do, where our things are. We have a massive pitch deck we go through on a 45-minute call to go through the baselines of what Outlaw is, the partnerships, the vendors, the construction team. I mean, all of the equipment, everything we do for a franchisee and what it's like to be a franchisee. We would like to explain to you that this is your business, it's your LLC, but the franchise is a license, kind of like a Texas driver's license. You pass a test, you get a license, but if you speed, DWI, smack, and then you lose your license, you don't own the business, you own the license to that Subway, that Outlaw, that Snap Fitness. Mm-hmm. So you have to follow the rules. And the rules are, in place for us to make money, because we make a revenue share. So we get 7% is the royalty we charge. So I'm in it to make you money. You're in it to make money. So it's a win-win. So that's what we want to make sure that everybody understands the partnership there. It's a direct partnership. And then with that, we onboard, we train. Every month we're on calls. We watch your KPI, we help you through sales. We watch your cancellations, what your memberships you sold, who's having a problem at your location, and work with the managers. We can't tell you how to run your business. You're your employees. It's your LLC. How you write things off is up to you. But we have it very organized. We have a whole dashboard you can log in. We have documents for your payroll, for your insurance, how you want to hire people, copy and paste, put your LLC on it. So we have everything detailed on our back-end infrastructure website, the back-end. Tiffany handles all that back-end infrastructure with our software team. So it's very, very organized, very detailed. Down to negotiating leases nationwide. We can negotiate the leases nationwide. We can build that nationwide. It's in our equipment partnership. funding. We do, all this stuff.
What is the future for Outlaw? What do you think?
What future is, this is good. We want to go nationwide. We want to aggressively hit some surrounding states right now. And then, with Port Florida, I go through some stuff right now, but we want to target Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma.
See, I have to give those two a minute.
You were going to have to, I know. I was going, I'm doing a little break right now, which is horrible. But so really just aggressively growing in Texas. Texas is so big, and we're excited because, we've been working a year on a deal with an athlete right now, a pro athlete, and we're like really close as of yesterday to finalizing our deal.
That's awesome.
And it'll be a part of Texas. I can't say who it is yet, but sure everybody knows, and it's it's exciting. So that was just yesterday. So we're hoping to have things wrapped up in the next week or so with them. And then the gentleman that is coming on, we adore. That's going to be looking at probably doing 3 or 5 locations in the Frisco, DFW area.
That's awesome.
And we love him and his wife. So this would really help us kind of set up the end of the year for 2025.
So let me ask you a question. So every night, not every night, Tuesday and Thursday, when my back is functional, I stop at 24-Hour Fitness and I go through. One of my black belts, who's become a very good friend, has an online personal training business. So it's obviously very affordable because he doesn't have to be there with me.
Yeah.
And I have an app that has videos of him showing me how to do whatever. And then I just go through there and go through the workout and all that stuff, right? And so I go into 24-Hour Fitness and I do that. That is the traditional model of a health club.
Yeah.
President's Fitness, Bally's Fitness, you know what I mean? That whole thing. Remember that one right there on Brown Trail back when we were younger that had the tennis course and queue? Yeah.
So that was a queue or something like that, yeah.
So yours is not that.
No.
Okay. Explain, because I'm not sure that our studio audience knows the difference between a Stroud's Fitness, a 24-Hour Fitness, and what you do. What is it you do?
Man, for a long time, I was a Stroud's Fitness. My first gym was a hardcore bodybuilding gym, chalk, lifting, hard rock, rap, cussing, everything in the shirt. As I evolved with the brand and the clientele, and I also like nice stuff as well. I love, anybody been to a Harley Davidson dealership, you walk in and it's not the 70s Harley Davidson.
No, it's super nice.
Boutique, it's stained concrete. So our studios are stained concrete, thin brick on the wall, copper speakers, open ceiling, very classy, high end. So when you walk in, you're like, okay, I'm going to spend some money. This is a nice place. Well, with that also comes high expectations of the talent. So I make sure our trainers are highly certified. Most of them have Canadian degrees, extremely professional. We want to make sure we're doing the best we can. And then I saw something missing in the segment. You have big box gyms and you have everybody in the world thinking they're an influencer, hopping on machines, hogging at machines, and people don't have time anymore. So everything we do is 30 minutes. We don't do we have hour sessions, but we rarely sell them. Like 2% of our clients use hour sessions. So we do 3 to 4 times a week, half-hour personal training sessions. But then the Outlaw FitCamp model is really cool because within that same studio, we have a large area that's all for personal training, one-on-one. We have small, semi-private, 4 people. Spouses, husbands and wife are working out. We don't charge extra for the spouse or the son or daughter. But while that's going on, we also have the FitCamp area going on, which is up to 12 people. We'll cap it at 16, depending on the size of a location. But the problem we saw in group fitness when I developed this was it's all 28 to 36 people in a row. They're trying to fit. So, you got Burn Boot Camp, Fit Body Boot Camp, all these boot camps, and they're all about how many people I can fit in a room. With that comes lack of quality.
Yeah.
So we are very particular. We have one coach, 12 up to 16, but most of us are 12s. They're posing, we call them cells because it's outlaws, jail cells.
That's awesome.
And each cell, they're all identical how they're laid out on the left side with racks and rowing machines and slam balls. The opposing cells are adjustable cable pulleys, dumbbells, kettlebells. I have 7 modalities of training styles built into an Outlaw. We have 3,500 videos that are pre-done. So the workouts are pre-designed by my workout team. I have 5 people that are architects of the workout teams and videos associated with it. So the instructor knows exactly what they're teaching that day. There's 8 movements in a half hour, and we're very particular on what's being done. So it's like personal training. They get to know your name. They'll walk up, coach you, pull your shoulder back, chest up. Good, there we go. Move on to the next client. So now you're getting 12 people in there, and we charge a little bit more, but I don't want you 36 people. You can't know who needs help, who doesn't. You got that woman or that guy that feels like crap about himself, and he's older now and broken down. He doesn't feel good. And you got a wife that kids are in college now, husband's traveling. She's a broken version of what she was in high school or college. those are the people we want to rebuild.
And she's not going to come to a 36 student.
No, or she'll get
She'll
lost.
come once.
Yeah, if she doesn't come back, they're not going to miss her.
No.
We're going to miss you. We're going to know. So that was the difference of that brand. And then our trainers in this business, it's really hard. If you do group fitness, you get your certification, you can work at Orange Theory, but you're only making a couple $100 a month because you're teaching classes. Our trainers are hybrids. So I would say I only have 1 to 2 that don't do the group that are full-time personal trainers. My head trainer is 64. He's a badass. That's how he does his train. But most of my trainers teach class and they do the personal training. We offer health insurance. We offer different ancillary benefits. So if you have like it's a vision, an accidental injury. So I cover certain things because I want the best people for my team. Sure. So that's the brand. It's just something completely different that nobody was doing. You have to have a membership. It's not an open gym. So when you're in there training with your trainer, you're in and out 30 minutes, 6 to 8 movements safely, effectively. And then we also have a performance app that ties to your wearables. You can track your food. You can scan your food. We keep your measurements in it so we can see your measurements. Every single week we do measurements. So I can fix things and course correct faster if I know, hey, you're wasted up court wrench. What's going on, man? I had a burger. Listen, you want to lose that weight. You want to get off that blood pressure med. You want to get that knee replacement. We can get you eating. So we need to do it once a week more frequently. It's easier to get resolved and you're not wasting time or a client's money. So versus showing you how in shape you are, selling you a membership and then never, be forgetting about it.
Right. That's awesome. So you're just, not only are you focusing, you're just changing lives. That's all you're pouring right into these.
All of our social stuff, we have people losing hundreds of pounds. We had a girl that lose 300 pounds that became a trainer at my place for about 8 years. We have a young man, Adam Bird, who lost 200 pounds at our place. His uncle I trained, and now he's married and rocking. So we do. My sister is on her 7th year of 100 pounds off.
Okay.
After her battle with addiction, she put on a lot of weight. So yeah, this is very big to me.
That's the first thing that happens when you put down a
huge. Yeah. So you blown up. And
I strike because I'm an NA guy. That was the path that worked for me. I had been introduced into that as a teenager. Went to rehab. I have a concept called the boy who cried recovery.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, one of the things that pairs well with an addict is a codependent.
Oh yeah.
And what we do is there are people who are addicted to helping people who say they want help. And then when you find somebody young as a teenager, I was like, oh, this is a resource right here. I can get compassion, and then they're not mad at me anymore. I have no interest in changing.
Yeah.
But if I say, I need, kind of punch my little lower lip out, I learned that at 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
And they introduced me to the 12-step program. And so years later, when I was actually serious about wanting to stop, that's where I went.
Yeah.
Because I'd already had the introduction. And there's this concept in NA where packing on weight is a good thing. And everyone says that. Everyone says it. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What you're saying is we're going to switch from this thing that is killing you
Different addiction.
to the great drug of our generation.
Sure.
And so one of the things that has really helped me with food is let me ask you a question. Okay. When it comes to food intake,
Right.
does it ever feel lonely? Because now in your industry, it probably doesn't because you're surrounded by people who eat well.
Yeah.
But when I tell people that I don't eat sugar or flour at all, like I said, like it's a drink in AA, I don't. The first cookie, the first piece of cake starts a process that I can't stop. And they just can't wrap their brain around.
I don't even tell people. Like when I stopped doing my fair share of cocaine and drugs I was doing, I'm not one of those guys that'll post on, hey, I've been clean this over this long.
Right.
I don't care. I stopped everything. When I go to eat somewhere, I eat what I want. I eat clean, I order clean, but I learned a long time ago not to say anything because people automatically want to falter in and put their input in or, I don't need to hear what you can't do. I'm going to order, if I go out, I order steak tacos. Hey, light cheese, one more tortilla, or I make my own food.
Right.
But I order particular ways.
Now, when they offer.
If they offer, I said, no, my stomach, I'm affiliated.
Really?
So I just know when I tell my stomach.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to totally change what I say now.
And I like to have margaritas and wine. So if I go to functions and I'm trying to be good, I'm like, no, I got ducks in the morning. I can't really drink tomorrow. So I just lie, and it's what. Yeah, I lie. It's my life. I don't need to tell you.
Sure.
I have an appointment. I got to scan in the morning. I can't drink anything tonight. So I'm just very particular.
Oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to start. That's because I have to get sucked into a conversation as to why nobody's lower. Because you're right.
So,
All right. Oh, then let's stomach.
yeah, I just feel good about it, and nobody bothers you.
Well, oh my gosh, I don't tell me about diarrhea. I got diarrhea. That's just coming out though.
Every time I drink wine, I get diarrhea. Like, no wine for him. No wine. No margaritas.
Oh, it gives me to win something terrible. You're right. That'll shut them right down. They won't ask me anything.
Yeah, so I became very private that stuff, and I don't put any emphasis on it. I don't put any energy into it. And
That's wonderful because I get sick of defending.
oh yeah, you have to. And for years I did, and for years I was like, oh, I'm on a contest. I can't. Nobody cares what I'm doing.
Nobody cares.
But when I was bodybuilding, it was all about me, and I'm doing a contest.
Right.
Nobody cares. So now I do whatever I do to win.
Oh my gosh, this is so brilliant, Jimmy.
I'm telling you,
My stomach.
my stomach, yeah. So,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, wait a minute. So, of all the years, as soon as you open up Outlaw, what is your one client that's always kind of like is always stuck with you? Like that one student that,
Dude, I got clients with me, and this is what's beautiful. I have a cute little couple, Mary and Pat, that have been with me since my first gym. They do FitCamp, and Mary's still doing a little personal training. They're retired Air Force ladies. They're in their 60s. They've been with me 30 years. Karen Pena, she's been with me 30 years. She trains with one of my trainers in the morning. So I still have my original clients. I have a group of 4 girls that I trained on off for 13, 14. So I still train from 5 to about 9 and 30 in the morning. Yeah. And then it's all office stuff. Every year I cut back more and more of the training, but I love my clients.
Sure.
I trained my mom, who's 72 this December, with my sister and her best friend, 68. So I still train a lot of the same people for 13 and 15 years.
Wow.
So I have so many people that I love, and it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5:30. Everything is so systematic. I tell my trainers to be the most reliable thing in that client's life.
Yep.
Because everybody fails. Everybody lets them up. Hey, can you reschedule? No. I try to always be on that time. So I just try to be really reliable. And every year I do have to make little cutbacks, but I also like having my hands in the pot. I still enjoy training.
Right.
I'm 30 years now. This December, I think it'll be 30 years of training people. And I still absolutely love it, and I don't miss it. I'm still excited about it.
Yeah. It's funny that Hanshi, my main guy, has this philosophy of you're a martial artist first.
Yeah.
You're a teacher second and a business person third. And so like you're a fit person first.
Yeah.
You're a trainer second.
Motivator, trainer, yeah.
Right. And if you mix that order up, things get twisted.
It does. I know you went through this here. For the longest time, I was a one-man show.
Right.
I started hiring people and bringing. Now I have a whole team that is incredible.
Sure.
And I couldn't do it without them. But when I started over again, it was myself and Kay. And from doing billing, running credit cards, and punching the numbers in, because we just had a little terminal that you could run them through on their contract. So it was like 300 people.
Yeah.
Punching every time. Oh man! But it was all those little things, and you realize that you have to be. When I was growing the business and I was training 7 days a week and reinvesting every month in the business, I didn't have time, so I started getting there 45 minutes to an hour early in the morning. So when my first class started at 5:30, I'll get there at 4:30, and I would send emails off, and I would do things early in the morning. So by the time I got a break at 10:30, 11 o'clock, I would have responses back. So that gave me a day's worth of, I would be ahead day versus doing that at 11 or 5 o'clock emailing. And then so as I built a brand, I would just get there early and I'd send all my work offs. Nobody, text anybody, but I would email people first thing in the morning. Yeah. So then I became so much more productive. So that was my system, was early in the morning, send all my emails out for everything I needed, from looking at a location, Little Elm or McKinney. I would do all that stuff first thing in the morning. And then by the time I got a break, I was excited because I got responses. I got things happening. So I felt really good, but I just had to learn systems in place and to brainwash myself to get in there.
But it sounds like you haven't lost touch of your purpose on that house.
I'm even more focused on it now. Like, look, we share stuff between locations, and Robin and Keller is changing lives. We have a mother of 6. She's awesome. Kelsey and her daughter run our McKinney location. They're changing lives there. Our Hickory Creek husband and wife that own that, they have a mom badly dementia in there. Her daughter comes in, so we have. Every location is doing such cool stuff, and they all share the same passions we have.
Yeah.
And I think that's the cool thing about Outlaw is Outlaw's really anti-pharmaceutical. It's anti-food. It's all the BS we have right now that's clouding our brains. Sure. I want people off medications. I don't want them having to be attached to big pharma, all the crappy foods we're throwing down our faces. And I want families trained. And that's why we don't charge extra for the spouses or the ones. So it's just a different brand. So it's a hardcore name. Beautiful studios are beautiful and nice inside, but the whole philosophy is just it's anti what we have now, which is separation of family.
So Joel Furman is the guy, the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, about the Australian that came over, right? And so the first visit in that documentary was this doctor on the East Coast, Joel Furman, who is a medical doctor, but treats his clients through diet.
Yes.
And he's like, it's the food, man. It's everything. They have hijacked the hippocampus in our brain, and it's a brilliant business model if you want to keep people sick.
Yeah.
Because the food we're eating doesn't have any food in it.
Nutritional value.
And so and tell me if you agree with this, because this is what I've heard. We have designed through evolution to be attracted to things that taste good, because 1,000 years ago, the better it tasted, the longer we would go without starving if we ate it.
Yeah.
But the food industry hijacked that. And what it did is it made things that taste really good that doesn't actually have any food in it. So our brains haven't caught up to it yet. So that's why we overeat, because we're putting something that our brain says is good because it tastes good, but we're literally malnourished.
All the time. And biggest thing is just that what you see in stores, it's so easy to buy unhealthy, bad food. And that's all we buy. So everybody's overweight now, out of shape. And if you're out of shape, overweight, you're depressed, there's a medication for it. It's not habitual. It's not lifestyle change. Just don't go, hey, work out, go for a walk, get some sunlight, get off the video games, put your phone down. It's take this medication. Yep. Oh, you're depressed? Take this. Well, this will put weight on you. Well, then I get depressed and you get diabetics, you got high blood pressure. It's by the time somebody's 40 years old, they're on so many medications. When they come to our studio, I'm just blown away when all it is lifestyle.
Yep.
Eat clean, hydrate, good sleep, bring some of your stress down, work out, see some sunlight 2 to 3 times a week, and invite your family in for a workout. Really, that's really the benchmark of a happy family is doing it together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, when I know we've all seen this, there's her place and his place. I always hated that. There's a purpose for that. There's time, place. Sometimes you like your place and she has her place to go to work out at, but why not do things together? You get married for better, for worse. Why not supercharge your marriage by working out together, training your kids, cooking together, tipping them to cook together on the weekends for our food for the week.
That's wonderful.
So it's like, that's just what Outlaw is.
So cool.
A deeper aspect versus just a name being cool and hardcore sound. Right. So it does scare some people. Outlaw is hardcore. It's hardcore. You need. I got 125 pound dumbbells. So roll it heavy. We got heavy, but that's not the brand.
But you're doing good work.
Yeah, dude, you're doing awesome work. So for our studio audience who don't believe that they can eat well by going to the grocery store, right? They can buy stuff. Eat clean. What does that mean?
Shop around the outside of the grocery.
Yeah.
Stay out of the aisle.
Our philosophy, we have a fuel plan trademark. That's our pattern for our meal plans, whole fuel plan. And I would say it's really carnivore had a baby with the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Healthy fats, oils, lentils. have healthy, good, clean foods, Mediterranean, healthy fats, oils. Have protein sources. Don't just eat protein and bacon. People go from one extreme to keto, carnivore, plant-based. Oh my God, plant-based. You see people on plant-based, everything's processed. Yeah. But I'm doing plant-based. Well, yeah, but that's a Beyond Burger, and there how much we go and sit in that. Everything's so processed. So just find balance, portion control. It just, that's just literally that. I've eaten the same way for 30 years, and I stay. Now that I stopped bodybuilding, I'm like 190, 192, and I stay right there. 180 grams of protein, 170 a day, nothing like I needed before. And I just, it's easy because it's just normal. Yeah. And if I go out, I have hot wings and I'll drink a beer and I'll have some burritos, but it's not a whole bunch.
Right.
So it's just balance, really.
And it's really a lot harder to overeat very real food.
Yeah.
Like really whole food.
Nobody, I had a banana and a protein shake. Somebody goes, are bananas bad for you? I've never seen somebody fat because they ate too many bananas.
No, it's
I've eaten street tacos. I can live off hot wings and street tacos, and you'll never see me fat from eating street tacos and hot wings.
Right.
Because it's just meat. Yeah, they're fried. But again, it's real food. It should large amounts of sugars and horrible carbohydrates and fatty foods.
Yep.
Yeah. It's that simple. So you cut that out, it'll feel good.
Yeah. Yep. I dare you to overeat steamed broccoli.
Yeah,
I dare you.
Good luck.
Your stomach will explode.
You might be far over. Yeah. Nobody want to be around you.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I have a business idea.
Broccoli farms.
Broccoli, no, not broccoli first. But that would be pretty funny. You should do a lady self-defense. You have a lot of ladies, right? Do you do that? Do you offer
No.
either at all?
We've had somebody come out to the Keller location. There's a place next to their place. They do that. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd love a guy.
I'd love to do it.
I know
I've done women's self-defense for decades, and I only have one rule. I don't charge for it. I refuse to charge for it.
Well, that's awesome though.
But why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Because if it becomes about the money to do that,
Yeah.
it took me long enough to charge a fair price for my martial arts training. And I unapologetically am, offer a premium service, and I don't feel bad about charging for tuition.
Yeah.
But there are some things that have to just be from the heart. And
Women and young girls, oh my God, that'd be awesome.
well, and the thing is, like, during COVID, when we were shut down, my son and I got into acrylic pours. We were locked in our house. Like, we were going crazy, And so we were doing these beautiful paintings, right? Every night. We have hundreds of them. And somebody goes, you should sell those. I'm like, no,
There would be
not everything is for sale, nigga. Some things I just need to do from the heart. And that's one.
I think, hey, listen,
The Jesse thing we do, the bully proofing we do,
We're so anti-bully.
it can't be about profit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when Jesse told me that the majority of that clientele were late, I'm like, wait, chance offers.
Yeah.
I like,
You're already teaching them self-defense.
Yeah.
You know why? What are the odds? What are the odds that you're going to die from a street attack versus cancer and heart disease?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to really do self-defense, protect yourself from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yes.
Your domestic.
Yes. What you put in your mouth. What you're
Handle the
eating.
domestic first. I'll handle the foreign.
Jesse, man,
Yeah, super fun.
yeah.
Dude, I'm so glad. This is awesome.
So, can someone get one of these Outlaw shirts? Okay, this is mine anyway. So, what website can someone go?
I think go to outlawfitcamp.com, ofcfranchise.com. Stop any of our locations. We have a Keller location, a Flywheel location, Hickory Creek, and McKinney, and then it's soon to be in Bronzeville soon.
New Bronzeville?
Yeah.
Sticky's from New Brunswick.
Really? Yeah. We got an awesome couple out there. So they'll be opening probably the first quarter of next year. And then if things go right, we got a Frisco location with an awesome dude. So we're excited about that.
So let's say our Canadian friends or our Mexican friends. That's why my wife's going to Canada. They say, yeah, Canada friends. If they want to go, you know what? I want to tap into this Outlaw FitCamp. I want to.
26, we want to be in Canada in 2026.
2026. Okay. So anyone, anywhere now listening to this, if they love what you're doing.
Yeah, if you're looking at franchises, go to outlawfitcamp.com, and we have all our franchise information. You can contact us on there, find us on Facebook. And again, our headquarters, we built it 3 years ago. It's stunning. It's about 7,000 square feet right by DFW Airport. It's kind of a training room, a conference room. It's the full headquarters for everything there. And it's to create a good experience for franchisees because you come there to train for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're right by the hotels and the lake and everything. So it's just really cool setup there. So,
Man, Jesse, this has been a great time.
dude, this has been awesome.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, go like and subscribe. Go follow Jesse, Outlaw Fit Camp as well. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Tell all your friends about us. Love you guys.
Thank you guys.